Hello, I'm Lineke Lijn, and in this drawing tutorial we are going to draw 3D. It's an easy effect, easy to do, and I wish you all the luck with this nice drawing. In this drawing lesson we are going to draw a 3D present, and this is the study I already made. And for this drawing I will be using a colored Canson paper. It's very nice paper, and it gives a special effect when you will work with white. So the white stands out more. And for the setup itself I'm using a standard HB graphite pencil. The setup is actually like when you are drawing a kubus. I start out with the lid of the box, and as you can see, and as you will see, all the lines will be bent together as we draw downwards. So they narrow down as the parcel is standing on the table. We need that for the photography later on. So I'm still drawing a kubus, and the lines are all getting together, like when you are drawing a house or a horizon towards the horizon. So this is a very simple and easy to do setup. On the lid I draw a cross, so I know where about the ribbons will be that keep the present together. What's inside nobody will know. You can guess, of course. Well, it's so nice to do. Here on the right side I'm also drawing in the ribbon, and on the top there are the ends of the tie that is on top. So I'm bending the line here so that it looks like this ribbon is really falling over the lid of the box. I also do this on the right side, of course. And here the end of the ribbon falls in a little bit, so I do not let it stand out too much because of the cutting we have to do later. Here on top is the knot that ties the ribbon together. Go away, little cat. He's always watching when I'm drawing. Well, and what you do next is drawing in the tie, and all you need to do is draw in a loop and then the thickness of the ribbon itself. As you can see, the top of my drawing is much bigger than the drawing in the below end. And that's because of the angle we are going to use when making a picture of this drawing. Here I'm drawing in the other loop and the thickness of the ribbon itself. Here it goes down with an angle, and you can also see the inside of the ribbon. Now I follow the darkest shadows already, so I make a picture for myself in my head for the lines that are important, and I also go over the whole drawing again. For instance, here the ribbon can be a little bit broader, and I check everything if I did everything right. And I also already place in the angle of the shadow that is next to the box. It is the shadow that is casted on the table, and that will give your drawing an extra 3D effect. I've set up the whole of the drawing from freehand, so I go over it with my ruler to check if I did it correctly. Here's the side of the box. Well, I did an actually good job, I think. Here the ribbon can be a little bit more broad, so I correct this a little bit. And then I get rid of all my little helper lines and everything that is not necessary for my drawing. I erase that so that doesn't bother me when I start to color it in. Graphite pencil and coloring pencils are not great together. They seem to make it a little bit grayish, and I want my drawing to be as bright as possible. So I do not put in too much graphite, and I get rid of all the graphite that is not necessary. And what I also already place in is the horizon of my imaginary table. So above that line everything will be cut out. Here I'm erasing some more lines that I don't need at all. So get rid of those. This is the outer line of the box. And there is on my Deviant a example for the first lines in the first setup. So if you want to download that, it's for free, and you can have the whole setup so you can measure everything if you might need that. I've already started here with my pastel pencil, and as you can see, the white of the pastel really stands out because I'm drawing on the brownish Canson paper. What is very important is that you make a great underlay of white in this drawing. So place that in with a pastel pencil or a standard white coloring pencil, that's also okay. But the pastel pencil is even whiter than a standard color white pencil. And you can draw really beautiful over this. It's pure pigment and it's very nice for your underlay. And I've speeded up the time here because it's quite boring to see. But what you can see is where I want the highlights to be. It's important for you to know where the light is coming from the left above. And what I also want to do is put a little bit of nice colored paper on the box itself. Here I'm drawing in diagonal lines, and I simply put them also all over the right side of the box. Once you've set those lines in, you can start again with the pastel pencil and color in the white lines. On the right side of the box I do not press as hard as on the left side of the box, because I want the left side to be as white as possible and the right side will be the shadowy side. Now it's time for the real coloring in. For the front of the box, the colored paper that's around it, I use a light pink. I simply color in between the lines. So now I get white and pink lines of the paper that's around the box. And for the right side I use a darker pink. That's my shadow side. So I also changed the pencil itself to a darker pink. For the ribbon itself, I also use the darker pink. You can see how easily the color pencil blends together with the pastel pencil. It's really nice to do. And you can here see how the brownness of the paper really shines through a little bit with the dark pink. So I'm simply drawing in between the white pastel and over the white pastel to give that ribbon a little bit of underlay color. Also here I've speeded up the time because it's just an underlay what I'm drawing in now. I want the front of the box to be a little bit more light, so you can simply take your pastel pencil again and lighten things up if that is necessary. Then light brown. It's kind of ochre, and I use that over the pink, the dark pink. It's almost purple. And as you can see, this light brown and the pink together makes it already a little bit shiny. Green is actually a beautiful shadow color. I use the green for the right side of the box. Yellow, on the other hand, is a light color. That's where the sun hits the box, and I place that over the left side of the box. Then red. I want my ribbon and tie to be reddish. Well, it must be a little bit, well, Christmassy red maybe, or whatever, but you can make the tie and ribbon any color you want actually. I've chosen here for a red and a pink, those kind of color, but you could easily draw in blue or maybe even green if you want. It doesn't matter as long as you easily build up your coloring in. Here for the side I can use a little bit more red too. And it all is becoming a little bit more sparkly. As the drawing proceeds, I can use a gray pencil for the shadows. I place them just underneath the lid of the box, so you get that 3D feel. Also on the tip of the lid, a little bit grey, and it really gives that feel of that it's coming around the corner. And here underneath the ribbon a little bit. The ribbon itself, I almost forgot, needs a little bit pink too, of course, a little bit color. And I want the stripes to be more in front of us, so I easily make them a little bit more white so that it stands out even more to give that great 3D feel. Then it's time for dark blue. I've taken the darkest blue that I could find in my pencil box. And I use a little bit of this to get more shine. So I use it as a shadowing in, but also as a highlight or, well, dark light if you want. I don't know how you call it. Low light. Yeah, low light, that's the correct word. So it gets even more shiny with the dark blue. I also use that same dark blue for the underlayment of the shadow side. So that's the shadow that is casted by the box onto the table. And it's nice to use that dark blue as the underground of the shadow itself. The shadow right next to the box is the darkest and the deepest. So here I put a little bit more pressure on the blue color pencil, and I also rub it in real good into the paper, and I get rid of some pollution that is smeared by the mouse of my hand. So get rid of that as much as possible. And then it's time for my black pencil. It's at its end, so I need to get shopping because, well, it's so small now. I can hardly work with it. But what you need to know is to use the black as little as possible. It's quite dangerous, so use it sparsely. And only use it for the darkest and deepest shadows that are in your drawing. So do not use it anywhere else, only for the dark shadows. Here next to the box, I will press extra hard to get that really deep shadow going on. Also on the corner of the lid, a little bit, just a little bit, and just underneath the lid of the box. But as I was saying, please be careful with the black. Do not make your drawing flat with it, but only use it for the little tiny dark shadows. And as sparse as possible. Well, the drawing is almost at its end. And what's also a nice effect is to draw in your table a little bit, just a little bit. Just make it a little bit more light, and you can use the white pastel pencil for this again. And then simply rub in the pastel a little bit to make that soft feel of a table or a tablecloth if you want. Go around it as precisely as possible. Do not put in too much, just a little bit for the soft tone. Okay, this is my drawing. And now the fun part, of course, and that is cutting out the surrounding. So I'm taking this out, and you really want to be as precise as possible. So I cut just next to the lines that I've drawn. So do not cut into your drawing itself, but just around the corner. It's always a little bit exciting what the drawing will do. And of course I've made one, you can see it on the left side. I've made a pre-study and it works great. It's amazing. It's really awesome to see what it does on a dark underground. It's great. And here you can see the inside of the tie itself. You cannot cut it out with a scissors. So you really need a knife for this. And then very, very carefully cut out the inside of the tie. Be careful not to cut yourself. And then take it out with the tip of your knife. And here is your drawing. Okay, I'm going to make some photographs now. You can also film it if you want. But photographing is great, because after you've taken some pictures of your drawing, you can easily maybe change the colors in your mobile phone if you have, or your camera. You can put it on different kinds of angles. You can place them on different backgrounds. But I still think a dark background works the best for that 3D effect. Maybe you have a granite something, or well, just try any possible way you can. Hope you like this video. Give it a big like, and I hope to see you again, of course, in one of my other tutorials. Take care, have fun, and see you next time. Bye bye.